The Outer Worlds. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. The Outer Worlds is a new single-player first-person sci-fi RPG from Obsidian Entertainment and Private Division. Lost in transit while on a colonist ship bound for the furthest edge of the galaxy, you awake decades later only to find yourself in the midst of a deep conspiracy threatening to destroy the Halcyon colony. As you explore the furthest reaches of space and encounter various factions, all vying for power, the character you decide to become will determine how this player-driven story unfolds. In the corporate equation for the colony, you are the unplanned variable. Yes guys, this is The Outer Worlds, a game I've been waiting for ever since I saw it on E3. But before I get into the meat and the potatoes guys, let's have a quick look at the graphical options and the gameplay options. You have a nice sprinkling, a splattering of graphical options that you can use, and I had no real issues running this game. I'm running it on an i9 2080, so you wouldn't have expected us to. But it was running fine, no problems, no worries whatsoever. You have 4 difficulty levels for this game. I tried it on medium and I tried it on hard. I found medium too easy, I found hard brilliant until my guns became a little bit obsolete. Then I had to bang it back down, but then I got some good weapons and banged it back up. I love banging things, guys. Now going back to the graphics of this game, I don't like them. I do not like the palette for this game. I think it's way oversaturated. The colour of this game, it actually started giving me a headache when I was playing it. But worse than that, I couldn't see the enemy when they were in the form of humanoids. There's humanoids, various enemies in this game, and a lot of them are human. And they are very, very difficult to spot because they blend in with everything, because everything's just a saturated mess of colour. And worse than that, guys, worse than that, the wildlife that you encounter, and it varies from little tiny critters to huge big queens, they all look like these fucking inflatable beach toys. Like, you know, you'll get these bright green inflatable crocodiles for your pool. Well, they all look like that, and it's kind of, I don't know whether to laugh at them or shoot the fuckers. Some of them even look like they're made of foam. It's the shit. And some of them don't die properly, and they sit there as if they're still alive, playing dead, but they actually are dead. And you kind of walk and think, shit, can I loot you, or are you going to bite your face off? It's piss poor. I can't believe that they decided that this was the colour palette that we're going to use. Everything's looks fucking luminous or highly saturated. It just looks wrong. So anyway, as the game starts, you are drifting in space on a big colony ship, frozen in time, so to speak. And this guy, who I totally don't trust, he frees me. He chooses me out of the hundreds and thousands of other humanoids, and he frees me. And that's when you go to your character creation, and that's when you choose what you're going to look like. But better than that is you get to choose all your attributes. And like a proper RPG, and I am talking about proper, this is a proper RPG. Other RPGs aren't RPGs. This is a proper RPG. You can put all your attributes in, decide what kind of a person you are. Hey, you can even kill anybody in the game. Apparently there's one person you can't kill in the game. I don't know who it is, but you can kill anybody you like. Quest givers, the lot. Murder the bastards if you don't like them, which is fantastic. It's a proper RPG. This is a... I know, but other games like Witcher 3 claim to be RPG of the year. This is a proper... You can't steal. You can't just walk into people. Come to that. Stop getting excited. We're talking about characters, guys. It's very deep, your character progression, the way you set it all up and the way it progresses through the games. And as it goes on and you level up with your XP, you can put more perks in, more attributes in. It's great. You can level up what you want, whether it's melee, whether it's ranged, whether it's stealth, whether it's lockpicking, hacking, whether it's just your voice. I mean, one of the things that I always do in RPGs, I put shit tons of points into dialogue, because you just know in a good RPG there's going to be lots of dialogue, and you might want to persuade somebody, and that's when it really needs these points in that. And in this game it's no different. There is tons of dialogue in this, and I'll move on to the dialogue now. It is so deep, guys. When you are talking to other people and it's all fully voiced, it's fantastic, because you aren't voiced as the protagonist. You are not voiced. Everybody else is, which I love, because it's me. I don't want someone else saying what I think. You don't know what I think. I might think you're a cunt and I want to shoot you. Whereas if it's voiced, you won't have that. But you get loads of options in this. You can go as deep or as shallow as you want when you're talking to people. And it's really good. And if you've got companions with you, they all have attributes as well. And weapons and armour that you can equip for them and all of that. And you level them up, you give them perks and all the rest of it. They can join in the conversation with their skill points. If they've got dialogue options, one of mine is he's got very high intimidation. So I get the option to intimidate the fuck out of people, you know, and you can be a bastard. When we totally murdered this guy next to a waterfall out the way, no one was looking. We didn't have to, but one of my guys, he's a vicar. What a bastard he is. I was just encouraging him. Yeah, go on, kill him. He was talking about you. He said bad things. Yeah, we'll kill him. No, don't kill us. Yeah, go on, kill him. And it was great. And it just mowed him down. Ah, guys.
What? No!
So much fun in the dialogue. However, there are bad things in the dialogue as well. I think women aren't presented very well in this game. A lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. That's it's 50-50. At least half of the women characters in this game are fucking annoying. Really are. And they're these itsy, fucking ditzy women that you just can't stand when you see them in real life. They're just cringe-worthingly bad. Do you know what? I spent half a fucking hour with this bloody companion of mine rabbiting on because she fancied this other woman, but she didn't want to get physical because she's kind of asexual and all that. You know, just rabbiting on. Oh, should I ask her out? Yes, just go and fucking ask the out. Go on, just go and ask her out. Oh, but what if she says no? Well, you go and do it. You go and do it back. You just fucking ask her out, you twat. And I spent all this time. Then when she eventually says yes, I'll go and ask her out. That wasn't good enough. Oh no. Oh, I'm dirty and smelly. I haven't had a bath for a week. Will you get us some soap? I was on a fucking fetch quest getting the soap. I mean, a lot of the missions are like that, fetch quests, and they just weren't as good as the missions that I had in Fallout and in New Vegas. It just wasn't as good in that sense. And that was a shame. That was a shame because these are the guys who wrote New Vegas. I'll tell you what else isn't as good, guys. The worlds, not the graphics. We've gone through that. They're not very big. Now, there are a lot of them because there's different planets that you can travel to in your spaceship, which is really neat, having your own spaceship, being free to go where you want. But when you get there, it's kind of a bit, I don't know, it's a bit of a letdown. You have these little cities. You go out to the little cities. There's a little path. You go up the path, you'll find a few people stationed on the path. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Go across country, you'll find critters and creatures. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Then you'll find another little camp. You'll go in there, a few quests there, go out the camp. Boom, 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 bam, bam. It's all just kind of, it just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel as real as it did in Fallout. When you left the bunker in Fallout, the world was so much bigger, so much better. In this, it just doesn't have that same... It just feels like you're doing levels that some guys made with a mod. That's how it... I mean, some of them are great. I mean, some of the cities are fantastic as well. But not all of them. And there was times when I felt that it was just a little bit too clean. Everything... I think with it being all saturated, it didn't look dirty. It just looked all... It looked like a film set, a studio's film set. Everything kind of was the same. You'd come across a few boxes, maybe 6 or 7 boxes in a square, and you'd think, oh yeah, there'll be some guys there. It's just like copy pasted all over the place. It just telegraphed itself to what you were coming to, so you didn't really have any oh shit moments. I think the best fun I had was when you go into what it's called these instance situations where you'll have to go to, say, an early one is a community centre, and you'll go into the community centre. It might have 2 or 3 floors, or there was a bio factory as well, and there's a lot of enemies in there and different secrets, and I really enjoyed exploring them way more than I did exploring the actual world, which is a bit of a shame. Now, combat wise, it is fun. It's got good gunplay. The guns are all leveled, so you have different levels to the guns, and there's special guns as well. For example, later on in the game I found a thing called the Thunder, which was an assault rifle, way better than the one that I'd been upgrading. You can upgrade on workbenches, your DPS, put mods on them and things like that. You can carry 4 weapons at a time. but you've got your companions who have special abilities as well. And your weapons, you can, like I say, you can upgrade so you can keep a weapon that you like. There's lots of different types of weapons, from pistols to flamethrowers, grenade launchers, machine guns, light machine guns, heavy machine guns, lots of different armor as well. All these have perks as well, and stats on them, if you like. And the gunplay is clean, it's fun. The enemy is pretty decent at times. Sometimes it's not, but you know, it's about average, the AI, I would say. You also have like a bullet time thing, which doesn't last long enough to spoil the game, but it's there for that second or two of just awesomeness when you need to hit that weak spot on maybe it's a robot, the little blue bit that you have to hit, or just getting some headshots with a sniper rifle. It's really fun to use, and I really enjoy that as well. You can make it a bit better with the vast amount of perks that you get for this game and different abilities when you level up. The only real annoyance for me in the combat is when you actually tell your companions to use their special move. You get a cutscene, which at first looks really cool, but after you've done it 100 times, it's bloody annoying, because no matter what you're doing, the game does a Call of Duty on you. It just snatches away control, says, I don't care if you're about to snipe him in the head, watch this. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it for the 50th fucking time. Yeah, but you're gonna watch it again. I know what she does. She pulls out a gun and goes, wah! And it's just annoying that you have to watch that all the fucking time. You know, it just really is. Why can't we just have the option to switch that off? I couldn't find it if there is one. And another thing that I really looked to be able to switch off but couldn't was the X-ray vision in this game, in the form of tags above the enemy's heads. You can either have everything off or these on. I couldn't find one way of switching off the tags above the heads of the enemy. Why make a realistic RPG where you get totally immersed only to have the ability to see through fucking rocks, walls and everything else? It's just beyond me why they do this in games. Who wants to know where the enemies are? Who wants to know? And it's unplayable when you switch it off, because you can't see your health, you can't see anything about your stats, so it's too dangerous to play with the UI off. You need to be able to have that information about your ammunition, your health, how much time's left on your bullet time and things like that, and the health of your companions. So that was bloody annoying. But guys, all being said, and I hope I've brought this as balanced as I possibly could. Reviews are just opinions, but this is my opinion of the game. I really enjoy it. It is definitely worth a buy. One of the best RPGs I've played for a while. It could have been way better. It is not as good, in my opinion, as what people are saying it is. Absolutely not. But it is worth the money. It is really good compared to a lot of the shite that we've had out. It has proper RPG elements in this. You can't just walk into people's houses and steal. If you get seen, all hell breaks loose. But you can still then get away with it a bit if you can persuade or intimidate people. It's fantastic. This is a proper RPG. And most of the time the dialogue's fantastic. And the quests is pretty decent as well. Bar the shit ton of fetch quests that's in there. But guys, it is definitely worth a buy. And if you don't want to buy it off the Epic Store, you can get it on Green Man Gaming. There's a link below this video in my description. You can click that. You can also help the channel by getting it there as well, and that way you don't give Epics all your money. Green Man Gaming get a big cut as well, so that's one way of doing it. Or you can wait till it comes on Steam, whatever. But regardless of whatever you do, guys, The Outer Worlds is definitely worth a buy.